Hey guys, my name is Jamie Beaton and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Crimson Education. And today, I'm going to be answering some of the most common questions we get asked from students from Indonesia. Let's get into it. So the first question is, are there any secrets to gaining admission to the world's best universities? There are a couple of different things that I would consider as being pretty important. The first secret is that early decision when you actually commit to apply to certain universities in the November 1st round of your application year can boost your odds by 3 to 4 times for a given student. So the same student who commits binding versus non-binding could actually get into a dramatically different university. The next thing to be aware of is that actually, while the schools say that the SAT is optional, for many students from top schools, you actually want to take it. It's almost quasi-compulsory. And actually, of our 85 Ivy League admits this year, the vast majority had strong SAT scores. The final secret that I'd give you is there's actually some unique summer programs that you can get into over the summer. And if you get into them, programs like the Summer Science program or MIT's RSI program, it actually boosts your odds of getting into the Ivy League dramatically. There are a couple of secrets, I've got many more, but that's enough for today to get you excited. So what are the personalities of the top schools, like the Ivy League, and how do you know what is the right school for you? The first thing to think about is actually, beyond worrying about the personalities of the Ivy League, you first need to think about what does it actually take to get in? Because a lot of students don't actually have this choice. They often have to think about what it takes to get in, and then from there they might receive one Ivy League offer or two. So don't obsess about necessarily the personalities at this stage in the process. Think about what it actually takes to get in. But of course, when it comes to the actual binding early decision round, you've got to actually make this call at that point. And there is very different school cultures at these universities, and how you position yourself to that school's personality is very important. Schools like Wharton at the University of Pennsylvania are very focused on business, career success, getting into Wall Street, and having that strong financial career. That school is considered to be a bit more cutthroat and competitive, and I did do a degree at UPenn, so I say this with love, but it is a school in which students are really jockeying for those top jobs on Wall Street. Other schools like Brown are a lot more of an intellectually curious, happy environment, where students aren't as ruthlessly focused on getting into a certain job, but are actually really focused on that intellectual exploration, that community, and even community service as well. Brown kids often have a lot of flexibility in what they study, and there are many kids who actually do very radically different majors, like for example bioethics, or Latin, or sociology. Harvard is a bit of a compromise. The students at Harvard generally love leadership, they love to build organizations, and they often have big ambition. They tend to have some of the competitive spirit of students at Wharton, but they don't quite have the same cutthroat competitive environment as that institution. Yale is considered to also be one of the happy Ivy League schools, where many students are interested in pursuing careers in law, in government, in social policy, in politics, as well as in traditional areas like finance and consulting. There are other schools like Cornell which actually have a very different student culture, because at the Ivy League school Cornell, there are certain schools like the hotel school, or the agricultural science school, or even the business school, that are quite distinct to Cornell University. There's no other Ivy League school that trains you to be a hotel manager, for example, so it's a very interesting institution. Another key university that you should know the personality of is Stanford. Stanford's rapidly risen as one of the world's most popular universities, and the personality of Stanford is very focused on its entrepreneurship. The students love to build organizations, launch new products, and challenge the world's status quo. Stanford's also in the middle of California, which is actually quite a laid-back place culturally, but of course Stanford kids are quite ambitious, which creates the idea of the Stanford duck. A duck that looks calm on the surface above the water with its little legs beating frantically below the surface. That's a fun quirk of the Stanford University environment. At Crimson, we're very excited to help you find out what are the skills that really suits your personality, because ultimately this is going to be your home for 4 years, and it's really important that your own personality matches the culture that you're a part of. If you want to get your personal questions answered and to have tailored admissions advice to help you figure out what you need to do to get into the world's top universities in the US and UK, click on the link below and we'll figure out exactly what it will take to get you into your dream university. Cool, all right. Good stuff, guys.